So, what have you heard about credit cards? I've heard it all. From credit cards are dangerous, to credit cards are a great way to build credit, to credit cards will put you in debt. So, which is it? The answer is all of the above. In this video, which is part one of my credit card series, I'm exposing the truth about credit cards, including little known facts and the differences between credit cards versus debit card usage. Before we get started, welcome or welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hey, I'm Crystal, former corporate finance girly turned entrepreneur and personal finance educator. So stick around and become a part of my community if you're ready to get wild about wealth. Why don't we start with the basics? Credit cards are tools, and like any tool, they should be used to make things easier and benefit you in the long run. While tools can be helpful, you must still exercise caution with them, as they can also be dangerous. With that said, here are some little known facts about credit cards. Fact number one: most people think interest is calculated monthly, but nope. Credit card companies calculate interest daily, meaning if you carry a balance, you're being charged interest on top of interest every single day. But here's a pro tip: paying your bills even a few days early can actually save you money. Fact number two: paying early can boost your credit score. Here's how. Credit bureaus often see your balance on the statement closing date, not the due date. That means if you pay before your statement closes, your report balance is lower, thereby improving your credit utilization ratio and boosting your score faster. Fact number three: you can ask for a lower interest rate, and you'll likely get it. According to a report by LendingTree, 76% of cardholders who asked for a lower APR in the past year had their requests granted. This holds true especially if you have good payment history. Fact number four: carrying a balance does not help your credit score. This is probably one of the biggest myths. You don't need to owe money to show credit usage. Paying your card in full each month still builds credit and saves you from throwing money away on interest. Fact number five: your credit card limit can increase automatically or drop without warning. Card issuers sometimes lower your limit if they detect financial instability or inactivity, which can suddenly raise your utilization percentage and hurt your score. This is why you have to keep credit cards active with small recurring charges like a Spotify or Netflix subscription and auto pay to avoid surprise drops. Fact number six: credit card debt is the most expensive kind of debt. The average credit card APR as of the recording of this video is over 22%, the highest it's been in decades, and higher than auto loans, personal loans, and even some payday loans. And don't be fooled: if you're paying high interest, the rewards are not worth it. Fact number seven: having multiple cards can actually help your credit score if managed right. Each new card can increase the total credit limit, which can lower your utilization ratio, as long as you don't increase spending. Fact number eight: even closing an old card can actually hurt your credit score. Closing a card can shorten your average credit age and reduce the total available credit, which may lower your score temporarily. I mean, if there's no annual fee, keep that old card open and active. Fact number nine: credit cards are different than debit cards, and here's how. Debit card swipes mean you're using actual cash from your bank account. If you have $500 in your bank account and you make a purchase for $450, your balance after that swipe will be $50. But with credit cards, if you have a limit of $500 and you make a $450 purchase, you have a remaining credit limit of $50. But that swipe isn't tied to your bank account. Your cash in your bank account remains untouched. See the difference? So let's expand on this credit card versus debit card situation. We've already discussed the difference in the impact on your cash when you use a debit card versus a credit card. But now, let's take this a step further and settle the long-standing question: which one should you use? Let's start with fraud protection and chargebacks. With credit cards, you have stronger protections and easier chargebacks if something goes wrong. If someone, for whatever reason, gains access to your card and racks up a bunch of charges, your actual cash remains untouched. You can simply report the charges as fraudulent, and the charges most of the time can be removed easily from your credit card balance. On the flip side, debit card transactions pull from your cash immediately. If someone gets access to that card, your money is gone right away. And we don't want that. Now let's talk in terms of building credit. Credit card payments are reported to the credit bureaus. So responsible use and payment history can help you build credit, which is a huge long-term benefit. On the other hand, debit card usage doesn't get reported to the credit bureaus, but using debit cards can be great for managing your spending and sticking to a budget if you're someone who needs a little bit more restriction on your spending. Now let's talk interest and fees. With both credit cards and debit card usage, you could experience fees, but for very different reasons. With credit cards, as long as you pay your balance in full, you'll pay no interest. But if you don't, credit card usage can be very expensive. You could also rack up fees if the card charges an annual fee. Now, you won't be hit with interest charges using your debit card because you're spending your own cash. But you could be hit with overdraft fees if you attempt to spend more than what's in your bank account. And those fees can add up fast. These next two examples of credit card versus debit card usage are where using a credit card really starts to shine. Let's talk about holds. When you book hotels, rentals, or even go to the gas station, a hold is typically placed on your card for the purchase. In many cases, a large hold may be placed on your card to complete a hotel or a car booking. But if you use a credit card, the hold is placed on the credit card and won't tie up your actual cash in your bank account. If you were to use a debit card for these kinds of bookings, your real money could be tied up for days. And if you're traveling, this could be particularly difficult as you won't have access to that money for your trip. And finally, rewards. Now, I could make an entire video on this topic. Maybe I will. After watching this next part, comment below if you'd be interested in more detailed video on credit card rewards. In the meantime, I'll hit you with the basics. Some credit cards offer rewards programs, allowing you to receive cash back, points, or even travel perks just for using your credit card. With regular use, those rewards can really add up to some pretty hefty savings. Though you may find some rewards programs for debit cards, the rewards are very limited. Bottom line, whether you're using a credit card or a debit card is truly a personal choice and one that should be made based on your lifestyle and spending habits. Either way, your main focus should be on using both responsibly. Using a debit card for tight budgeting and daily cash discipline can be really helpful for people who need a little bit more restriction to help them stay on track with their spending. And this is because when you use your debit card, the money is gone. You either have it or you don't. So realistically, you can't really overspend. Using a credit card in many ways requires a bit more discipline because depending on your credit limit, you could easily spend more than you can afford. However, if you're disciplined enough to manage your spending, credit cards can offer more protection from fraud, rewards, and help you build your credit, but only if you follow the rules. And many people do a hybrid, which can work really well. Bills and big purchases on credit, paid in full each month, no extra debt, and day-to-day small spending on the debit card just to stay grounded. Just figure out what works best for you. Let me know in the comments if you're a debit card user or a credit card user, or a hybrid of both. I'll tell you my preference below. Just remember what I said about credit cards being tools. When you know how to use these tools, the advantages are powerful. But if you don't know how to use them, you will absolutely become trapped by the disadvantages. Lucky for you, I've got you covered. Part 2 of this video covers major advantages and disadvantages of credit card use, as well as some tips and strategies for using them wisely. Be sure to hit that bell for notifications so you don't miss out on part 2. If you learned one new thing from this video, hit hit that like button and consider subscribing for more personal finance education you didn't get in school. And drop me a comment below, letting me know what your number one credit card question or fear is. I read every single comment and I'd love to hear from you. As always, thank you for watching and remember to stay wild about wealth. Take care.